Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Shem Shai. Bahashem Bakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops of Connecticut. Salutations to all my fellow laborers that are doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners who look like the heathen nations. And to the Akwath that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone, coming at you with another lesson. And I have to be very careful with the words that I choose. So I will not speak about anything medical. I just will let them do it and read a couple scriptures. And this is from The Hill. And it's a short clip from the Joe Rogan Experience. And the video is called Joe Rogan to Cancel Ontario Show Over Canadian Travel Vax Mandates Creating a Fractured Society, ? And this is definitely creating a fractured, torn, divided society. As a matter of fact, we're going to start with that. Grab one of those scriptures to speak on that. One I always remember is, I think it's Mark 3:26. Yep, and it reads, "And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but have an end." So just like the 12 tribes divided between the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom, and after that we fell, the same thing is happening with the tribes of Idumea. All right, with Mount Seir, same thing's happening with them. Let's go to the book of Psalms. (64:8), which reads, "So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves, and all that see them shall flee away." So at this point, everyone wants to get away from these Idumeans and their unrighteous decrees and their unrighteous rule. All right, and they're getting so sloppy and so pathetic. The lies and the narrative are completely falling apart. It's failed, and it's an embarrassment to them at this point. So without any further ado, The Hill.
My 420 show that's sold out in Vancouver, I don't think that's happening.
Yeah.
I don't think I can even get into the country.
Right.
I'm not vaccinated. I'm not going to get vaccinated. I have antibodies. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. Why? And Canada's been extra. They're even more militant about everything up there than we are down here. They have actually banned traveling on any of their domestic airliners unless you're vaccinated. I don't know. Why is it still vaccination is the gold standard of what you need to be in order to do anything in life? It should be, if they're going to have any sort of, I don't like any of the mandates at all. I feel like, look, you take care of you. If you're sick, you stay home. If you don't want to get sick, you stay home. I've always been on that side of things. But if we're going to have any sort of protocol or mandates at all, it should be a testing. Show up with a negative test. That's what you need to do.
Right,
because we know it's not stopping anything.
Exactly, because the rationale for the requiring vaccination, which never made any sense, right, is that well, if you're vaccinated, then you're not going to spread it to someone else, so we need to require vaccination. But we now know that is not true.
Wisdom of Solomon 10:14. "And left him not in bonds, till she brought him the scepter of the kingdom, and the power against those that oppressed him. As for them that had accused him, she showed them to be liars, and gave him perpetual glory." Why was that 441? I just looked up and saw the camera as soon as I read that. Call halal Yahweh Shem Shai.
The vaccines are maybe, making you slightly less likely or somewhat less likely to spread, or they're making, you're not going to have symptoms for as long because they're fighting the disease, but you are still going to be able to spread it. People who are vaccinated right now are getting it like all over the country, all over the earth. So it's not, and anyway, so if that was the reason, and if it did make sense that people who were vaccinated or who had the antibodies were not going to spread it, well, then you could have counted and should have counted the kind of natural immunity that Joe Rogan is talking about and has. So it never made sense to have it just be vaccination and not include that. But now none of that makes sense, because the only way you can demonstrate that you're really, really unlikely to infect someone else is if you have a negative test result. So I agree, that would be the thing we would do. But we shouldn't do it because it's just stupid.
Right. But it should be, if anything, a rapid test that happens on the day of travel. So not even, one of the mistakes they were making was requiring testing a few days in advance, and then people would get on the planes. And now we know with Omicron spreading all around the world that didn't work out. Well, actually, one of the reasons why Omicron spread was because they weren't testing vaccinated people.
Job 15:6. Thine own mouth condemneth thee, and not I. Yea, thine own lips testify against thee. Kol haloi hao b'Hashem Yahushai, b'Hashem Rakakwadash, wa abba babal, kwam yasurala, shalom.